Well, this is my first time actually travelling for this channel.
Google Flights has this feature whereby you can just set it to explore, and it will show you a map of airfares over the next 6 months with like the cheapest dates. And I happened to notice that Fargo, North Dakota had some really reasonable fares, and I thought, well, I'd quite like to go there. I've seen the movies and the TV program, and I'm intrigued by that Minnesota nice accent. So I thought I'd go and check it out. So here I am on my way. I left from Orange County International Airport, aka John Wayne, heading to Dallas, Fort Worth, and then on to Fargo. So I'm at Dallas, Fort Worth, which is, as far as I remember, the second airport that I've ever been to, which had two city names. So the other one is Leeds Bradford. Probably about the only thing that Dallas and Bradford have in common. And I've got an hour and a bit layover here before I board my flight to Fargo, North Dakota. So here I am in Fargo, South Dakota, one of my destinations. And sadly it's not cold, there's no snow. I mean, it's not exactly warm. It's like 57 degrees, and I don't know what that is in rest of the world measures. But I do know that if it was this cold in California, everyone would be wearing jackets and sweaters and scarves and stuff. But it's actually quite pleasant. And there's some nice architecture. This is the Fargo Theatre, which is a fantastic Art Deco cinema built between 1925 and 1926. And it's home to a working Wurlitzer cinema organ. It's got this fantastic aerial thing on top. So I've stopped on the road, halfway between Fargo and Bemidji, and it's so amazingly quiet. Is that a woodpecker? These trees are silver birches, which you find a lot in Russia. In Russian they're called birches. This is where my GPS brought me. But I don't think this is actually my hotel. Geez, I'm in Minnesota here to find out if people really talk like they do in the movie Fargo. So what I have to pluck up the courage to do is to actually go up to people in the street and talk to them. But I'm British. How am I going to do that? Help! Anyway, I am spurred on by the fact that I've come all the way to Minnesota to do it, so it'd be a bit of a failure if I didn't pluck up the courage. The other challenge is there's very few people around. It's Easter Sunday morning. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but anyway, Babe's here and Paul's here, so maybe I'll ask them first. So this is the main drag, and I'm a bit worried that there are no people around, so no one to stop and interview. So 3rd Street is one of the main drags, and Beltrami Avenue is the other. And that's where all of the cafes and restaurants and things like that are. There are quite a few. It's quite a good range of places to eat, and many of them are closed today because it's Easter Sunday. I made the mistake yesterday of arriving in small town America too late to eat, So everything was already closed, well, or closing, and that was about 8 o'clock. So when I said I saw ice earlier, I was right. So there's still frozen bits. I'm not going to go and walk on them though. I asked some nice people if they wanted to talk to me, but they said they were tied up. They were walking their dog. There it is, proof. I don't know if that's snow or ice. I suppose it's ice. I know this is probably not very exciting if you live somewhere cold, but this is the first frozen lake I've seen for rather a long time. Don't get them in California, and not at least in Orange County. They wouldn't be allowed. So I nearly got some takers then, some nice people who are having a bit of a barbie, and I asked them if I could make a video and they said yes, and I was so pleased. And then they said, is it going to be a video? And I said yes, and they said they were busy cooking, which is fair enough. Hey gooses. Apparently Minnesota geese are not called geese, they're called grey ducks. Hi grey ducks. I'm so disappointed that you can't swim here. I was about to cast off my clothes and leap in. This is the Tourist Information Centre though, so let's see if I have any luck here. So we're here at the Tourist Information Office. Excellent. So what's the best thing to do in Bemidji?
Oh, we've got, in the summer, when the tourists are here, we have a lot of activities going on. Right now, we're kind of in between everything. Mm-hmm. But we have sculptures downtown on the corners.
I saw some of those, yeah.
And we've got a brochure here if you'd like. Our trails are phenomenal. It's fun to just get on a trail and just walk.
Oh, where do the trails go?
The trails actually go just about all around the lake. That's 17 miles. But you can walk from here to Diamond Point, and that's...
I went there yesterday, but I drove.
Okay, okay.
How long a walk is that?
Oh, I don't know, Emma. What do you think?
About 2 miles from here.
Okay, that's doable.
And we have Itasca Park, which is the headwaters to the Mississippi. That's 31 miles from us. And that's...
And there are trails there as well? Or?
Oh, tons of them, yes.
Oh, wonderful.
That's a really fun place to go.
And I saw there was a sign to a museum?
We have a museum 2 blocks down and a block to the left, and it's not open on Mondays.
It's not open on Mondays. Yeah, there's quite a lot of restaurants and things that aren't open on Mondays.
There's a lot of restaurants downtown, a lot of fun ones, a lot of bar-type atmospheres. There's Bridget's Pub. There's...
I saw that one, yeah.
209. We've got a brewery. Yes, I'm planning on
going there tonight. Okay. The brewery, what's that?
Bemidji has a brewery, and it's 4 blocks down. You could get a pizza with your craft beer. We've got a beautiful statue up here on the trail of Chief Bemidji, and that's a must-see.
Yeah. And are you Bemidji born and bred?
I was born 100 miles north up on the Canadian border, but I've lived in Bemidji for probably 40 years.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much indeed. What's your name?
Kathy.
Kathy, thank you so much. And yours?
You're welcome.
Emma, Kathy and Emma. Well, actually, I don't think I've ever seen Emma. Hi, Emma. Right, well, thank you so much. It's so kind of you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, if you share my passion for language learning and my desire to get the pronunciation right, then you'll be very interested in the sponsor of this video, Rosetta Stone. Recently, I've been using Rosetta Stone's voice recognition tool. You can set the sensitivity anywhere from easy to difficult and have different settings for different languages. That determines how strict it is in accepting or rejecting your pronunciation. I've been learning Swedish.
En kostym.
En kostym.
En kostym.
En kostym.
You can get a lifetime subscription to all 25 languages, which is a dream come true for a language nut like me. especially since it's over 60% off at the moment. Each lesson's only 10 minutes long, so it's easy to fit into my schedule. And I can use it both on my phone and a computer, and my progress syncs between the two. I strongly recommend you give it a try. There's a link in the description below, or you can scan the barcode on screen now for a 60% discount for a lifetime subscription to all 25 languages.
I think probably the most notable feature about Kathy's speech is her pronunciation of the mouth vowel. So she says downtown.
Downtown. There's a lot of restaurants downtown.
Which is a feature that's often associated with Canadians. And like them, she's not saying a boot, it's a boat. It's almost like my O. So starting with an O, down. Interestingly, the text transcription system transcribed that as stone tone.
Downtown, just about all around the lake. There's a lot of restaurants downtown, and it's 4 blocks down.
Another thing you might notice is that some of Kathy's R's after vowels are very strong. So, summer.
The summer.
A very strong, I think it's a retroflex, but it might be bunched, summer. When I imitate, it's a retroflex, and that's my normal scientific way of conducting phonological analysis. So if you're a phonetician, let me know what you think.
The summer bar-type atmospheres.
My next group of people were also interesting, so let's have a listen to them.
Hi there, how you doing? Good. I'm from England and I'm making a video about Bemidji.
Okay.
Can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Oh, fantastic, thank you so much. So are you all Bemidji born and bred?
No, we aren't actually.
So how far away are you from?
About 30 miles east. Yep,
Okay.
in Bagley, Minnesota.
Yeah, on a global scale that's not too far, is it?
No, not
So
at
what
all.
brings you here today?
I'm just hanging out with the kids. It's a nice day, so might as well bring them out to the park.
What brought you here then?
Just out of interest. I've actually seen... Right, first I saw Cheap Flight.
That makes it worth it.
Yeah, and I thought, I've never been. This is my chance.
Yeah.
And I'd seen the Fargo movie.
Yeah.
And this TV series, I think the first series is set in Bemidji.
Yeah.
It's not filmed here, but and I loved the idea of the statue.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll go.
Yep, there you go. Have you gone to Fargo yet then?
Yeah, so I flew into Fargo.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just kind of, I took some photos did some filming along the main street. There's a nice theatre there.
Okay, cool.
You missed it. We used to have the big Indian statue here
Oh,
in
yeah?
front of Morel's,
Yeah.
but they did just take that down a couple weeks ago and
Only
moved
a couple
it
weeks
to
ago. Oh, wow.
Yep, they sold it to some guy
Indiana,
Illinois. Some guy that goes across the U.S. and looks at like little big statues and puts them in a museum down in Illinois.
Well, lovely. Thank you so much
Yes.
for chatting with me. It's wonderful
Yes,
to meet
of
you.
course.
You
Nice
too.
meeting you.
Likewise. Okay, take care.
Bye.
A lovely group of people. One thing that struck me about the Moms was their pronunciation of words like kid, which is called the kit vowel, which sounded almost New Zealand-like. Kids.
I'm just hanging out with the kids. It's a nice day.
Well, the ice, it does get really thick. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be like 2 feet thick out there.
I had a bit of a misunderstanding with Kathy because of this phenomenon. Also because of the weak vowel merger, whereby in pretty much all North American accents, the distinction that I have between John Lennon and Vladimir Lenin, so Lennon, Lenin, gets reduced where they're both Lennon. So she was saying tourists as tourists, and she pretty much dropped the schwa altogether and it came out as tourists, which I heard as tours. And then later I asked her, when do these tours come? And she didn't understand. Here's the recording of that.
Tourists. A lot of
Tourists,
tourists in the summertime.
tourists.
We have
Okay.
a lot of tourists come here in the summertime.
Their dress vowel was also quite central.
What brought you here then?
Have you gone to Fargo yet then? Some guy that goes across the U.S.
The mums also had quite strong R's, so weather.
Sweatshirt
weather.
Another thing to notice is what's called the price vowel. So words like nice and inside,
It's a nice day. You stay inside.
which also has this more central beginning to the diphthong. Ey, Ay.
Nice days inside.
And Kathy also has that in like, nice, and time.
We've got a brochure here if you'd like. And we have really nice antique malls, so it's just really nice. Lots to do in the summertime. Come here in the summertime. Come in the summertime.
Now, of course, it's impossible to talk about Minnesota without mentioning the O vowel. So compared to my O and the standard American O, this one is kind of further back and higher in the mouth at the beginning. O, O, O. And actually, I think it is a diphthong, but it doesn't move very far. So O, O. It's called the goat vowel. And we have words like O, go, so, I hope so, no, I know.
The trails actually go just, I hope you will, I hope so.
I also talked to these fine people from southern... Where did you say you were from?
Redwood Falls.
Redwood Falls, which is still in Minnesota, but...
Yes, southwest Minnesota.
Wow. And so what brought you here today?
Oh, my mom and my sister live here.
Uh-huh. Always have, or?
Visiting, no. My sister's been here for a number of years. And she's a teacher up at Red Lake at the reservation.
Uh-huh.
And my mom was moved here a couple years ago.
To be closer to your sister.
Right,
Yeah.
she's moved to the nursing home, memory care unit. And so she's recuperating, so we're visiting, helping my sister out. So.
Uh-huh. How often do you come up?
I've been up here,
About every other week.
And the guy asked me how long I was in the States.
How long are you in the States?
With the face vowel. Which again is, I don't think it is a monophthong. So this doesn't move anywhere near as much as my face, or indeed face. The general American face. This is almost a diphthong, but I think not quite. So, face, face, face.
How long are you in the States?
Yeah, it just changes so often.
Also distinctive in all of our speakers is the final vowel in Minnesota. So instead of the schwa that you would get in my accent, Minnesota, or general American Minnesota, it's much more open. So, Minnesota.
Southwest Minnesota.
True Minnesota.
Kids came from North Dakota.
Iron Range, so like more northern Minnesota.
Now, interestingly, the young college people don't really have any of the traits that we've mentioned. There's still that rhythm.
You all from Bemidji?
I was born a little bit of while ago, but I've been here most of my life, yeah.
Uh-huh. It's a good place to grow up.
Yeah.
Good schools, and we have tons of outdoor activities. Like you can rent like boats and things and go on the lake. Good fishing here.
Uh-huh.
And then in the winter we have Bona Vista where you can do sledding, skiing, snowboarding, all of that stuff too.
Wow. Are you big into that?
Yeah, I love snowboarding.
Uh-huh. Wow. How about you?
Yeah, I'm personally, I just moved here to for college, so I haven't been here for too long. But
Where from?
The Iron Range, so like more northern Minnesota.
Oh, wow. Even more northern.
Yeah.
And there was one instance of the word job
Currently looking for a job, but
with a very fronted lot vowel, whereas you would expect in many parts of the US, job. Kathy's near vowel was also cool. So in that environment of an ear followed by an R, it comes out as a short I followed by an R. So near, beer.
You could get a pizza with your craft beer.
And then not in that environment, she has something that sounds a bit like really.
And we have really nice antique malls.
There's a very distinctive rhythm and intonation to Minnesota speech, which I think derives from the Scandinavian immigration that was so strong in the region. So you get this dunda 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 trochaic rhythm, which is common in Swedish.
It's a nice day, so might as well bring them out to the park.
Now, I never actually found anyone saying "you betcha" or "you got that right," but I did get some yas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Just goes to show, if at first you don't succeed, give up. No. If at first you don't succeed, try again the next day. When it's all sunny and people are cheerful. It's like 20 something degrees at the moment. I'm sweating. And there's just such lovely people. Lovely, friendly people. Minnesota nice.
So I'm currently in O'Hare Airport in Chicago,
and I've got a 3.5 hour layover here. I thought it would be fantastic to head into town and just see a bit of Chicago, but, well, fortunately, I suppose, I asked some people on Facebook and they said that was a very stupid idea. They were right. This airport is huge and it's taken me quite a long time to get from Terminal 3 to Terminal 1, where I've come to check out an amazing feature. I've done a lot of steps here just walking around the airport. They don't seem to have quite embraced the invention of people movers, so there's no monorail or travelator or any other way of getting around other than on foot. This is what happens when your comfort Brachiosaurus doesn't make it onto the flight, and the poor thing dies of starvation.
Well, I really hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know if you're interested in seeing more linguistic travelogues. There's another couple of videos coming up that I made on my trip to Bemidji, so look out for those. Meanwhile, take care and peace.